Etiphone for parliamentary she pa just enya sankutua to say oral fight be and just say sorry our parliamentary weka na winsuaka just say between Afanya Markins and a the NDC majority chief whip and just saying Simbi a PP1 just enya sankutua na kwakwa esi Afanya Markins adjo bisa na ama the chief majority whip or parliamentary NDC nino Babontin, Kikana dream patch and at any asam kitwa. I Alpha OneTV channel first time about so any new book and so now was subscribe ya my sabing news be no shia obenya notification of phone so na be shafin so memory info be sha more down for so any petty for mommy and kadi as aba to janchemo beka yinim se time kwa na eko si say no ene beka o si chairman sabon so na Babontin or say I'm working out because times a time I was working out. Didn't also work out that at the end I was see some document to be some file be na a speaker man me requested from no as when man provided inti as also P or work out now or jiaba now or her time now or her time the abuya while I was on some parliament be just say no I'm the chief majority for NDC Manukono Asegu Osei James Bonsu animase. I say Osei James Bonsu swide. I dey reply be amana as if zakwa abusive word bisano. E ma speaker bamba me atwena adwen say any kwasen ko kasa. Kam ne ko wesa senior ba ne den koma twena ina to aso.
And then we'll move on from there. Honorable members, we will now take item 9. At the commencement of public business. Presentation. Item 9 is presentation of petitions. I don't have any indication that we have petitions before us. Yes, Honorable Osei Chairman Bonsu, you want to present that paper? No?
Speaker, I think the minister himself will be in charge. But as you know, there is a role for him to play at the transitions team meeting. So if you saw, he's been there the whole day. And the speaker, the meeting is holding. And at the same time, there's also another cabinet meeting at 5. So I'm just walking there to inform him that he needs to present it. I guess maybe tomorrow it should be ready. Or maybe latest day after tomorrow. But I guess, certainly in the course of the week.
I know the report is ready because I was given a copy to admit for the consideration of the business committee, which I did. The challenge we have now is whether there's any authority here to present it for and on behalf of the Minister for Finance. If there's none, then...
As you always say, we learn. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Chairman Bonsu has laid papers in this house. In fact, he's actually even presented a budget in this house. I'm surprised that both the leader of government business and the Minister of Parliamentary Affairs do not have authority to just lay what you are talking about in this house. I don't want to believe there's any conspiracy. Mr. Speaker, one of them can actually lay this paper. Just laying. Normally they will tell you it's just laying, it's just laying. Honorable Chairman Bonsu has laid papers for Finance Minister, Energy Ministry. In fact, one of the days we call him Minister for everything. So it is difficult for me to understand why my good friend, Honorable Afenyo Marking, would not even lay this paper on behalf of Finance Minister. Apart from that, Honorable Chairman Bonsu, who actually has presented on record a budget in this house, equal to being a finance minister, can lay this paper and refer it. Tomorrow we'll deal with it. Mr. Speaker, if they delay this and tell us this is one of the reasons we'll sit on Saturday, Mr. Speaker, that will not be fair to members. That will not be fair to members. They have all opportunity today. In effect, Mr. Speaker, the first day of resumption, the government has not presented any business. That is the fact. They haven't presented any business. Yet, the leader of the house is requesting for you to add another day, which is a Saturday. How fair is that to the people of this house? When you have no business on the first day. Mr. Speaker,
Minority Chief Whip, actually, he hasn't requested that I add Saturday. He hasn't done so. I looked at the nature of the business before the House, and it was my proposal that we could not complete the business that I prioritize within the 5 days. So I added the Saturday. You have a good case because it means that it's a sign that they want to delay and then we'll be compelled to sit on Saturday. But also don't forget that times have changed. One of the issues I raised was the fact that maybe even what I admitted, because of the current situation, might have made some amendments. And that is why I took into consideration the submission by Honorable Osei Bonsu that the minister wants to take charge of it. He wants to do it himself. And so I just pleaded that let's defer it. If there have been that kind of changes, and he gets up too late, and maybe you ask, could you give us some gist of what is in it, please?
Speaker, just to concur and indeed align with what we just said, that was the issue I was raising. And he knows that issues have come up recently in respect of some expenditures. The minister will have to evaluate these matters. It's not for me. So, Mr. Speaker, if the chief whip for the minority gets up and is, attributing or impugning some improper motives, Mr. Speaker, he has some uncanny ability of introducing these matters into otherwise very sanctimonious issues, and you should be guided.
Actually, even if he did, those were not improper motives. They are proper motives.
Speaker, if you heard him,
I heard him.
That it may be attributable to some conspiracy.
Yeah, if the intention is to delay it and to push the time to Saturday, that motive is not improper. It's proper.
Mr. Speaker, the first leg is what I'm drawing your attention to. He sought to impute improper motives, that it might be some conspiracy. That's the issue that I'm relating to. And he knows that those words are very offensive. He knows. He should not be indulging in this. In any event, Mr. Speaker, he's also been the chief whip for the minority for some time now. He knows that even in his status,
your back, check behind you. There will be nobody. Because you all will be looking for things for your constituent. Mr. Speaker, be it as it may, I agree that we adopt the report subject to the views expressed, etc., etc. Let peace remain. Let there be peace. It's okay. Granted, I wasn't loud enough on this. Now, I bring clarity to it. Let's make progress. That is all.
Yes, honorable members, do we need to debate this again? Yes, please.
Mr. Speaker, we don't need to debate this. But Mr. Speaker, my colleague on the other side, you've actually helped him when he was insisting that you shouldn't put a question because he wanted everything here to be adopted. Whenever he's got his numbers, he will bring things that we don't like and put them to vote. Mr. Speaker, I want you to be fair to him and all of us. Put the issues, even the business statement, to listen. So if the House decide that we are rejecting it, let's reject it today, not on the day that he's got people on his side. So, Mr. Speaker, I entreat you, put the issue to a vote so that let us reject it for him to know that we are opposed to the attempt to grant tax waivers worth 300 million, which have been opposed for 2 years. Mr. Speaker, put the question. Don't even give him the opportunity because you were speaking to him in parable when you said to him that sometimes you protect him by asking him to look at his back. By looking at his back. Mr. Speaker, what happens the day that the people on my back are not enough and his are more? Then you will try to take the judges, would that be fair on that day? Mr. Speaker, would that be fair on that day? Mr. Speaker, put a question so that we reject the business statement today, so that we can go and do a proper business committee meeting and agree on what is put on the business statement coming from the majority of the people on the business statement. That will be a fairer way of doing it instead of votes they got, so that we who are in a majority will be in a disadvantage. This is the true nature of who you are. This is why the Ghanaians gave you a vote to commensurate with the numbers you have. Yet you said you haven't learned any lessons. You haven't learned any lessons. You are still walking like this. Talking, you cannot tell us we are a government. Look at the size of the government. Is this a government? Is this a government? This is less than the district assembly size of this thing.
That disease that is making us suffer today, I give you 6 months. You go through the same process. But Mr. Speaker, don't worry. The rules book we have, I don't want to ask you to look into your books, your standing orders. But I want to tell you that there's nowhere that a business statement is required to be subjected to a vote. Read for me, read. We've passed this. Read it, read. You quote me a rule that requires that a business statement. Go and read the old rules and this one. Read the old rules. Mr. Agboja, read, you see, you are aspiring to be a new majority leader. Behave yourself. Don't behave yourself. Don't act as if you are still in minority. You claim you are a majority. Behave like somebody who is in majority. What's wrong with you? Read where you can find in the books.
To tell us, how do you adopt something in Parliament without taking a vote? Tell me which rule tells you how to adopt. Can Mr. Speaker just decide that the House has adopted without members? Tell me. Consensus. So there's no consensus here today. We don't have a consensus. So tell me which rules you are using. There's no consensus.
The Business Committee report is accordingly adopted. Honorable members, when I use the word accordingly, subjected to, you want me to use the word subjected to the comments made by members. These are rules that are developed through practice, because it's a report coming from a committee for the House to indicate that it has accepted that report. So it's not like a formal debate where you put the question and the House will take a decision. And so this is the procedure that was developed through practice. So we adopt.
Abusanfo nitefo nya kwhwesa sina tese Osei chairman Bonsu so all work it out because okwaje file bi na sane the chief majority whip gu Osei chairman Bonsu enim say o feel so be provide some file bi a speaker na speaker every was and Gobedi or Beman went man providing no ama the chief majority whip by the egunenimasi patches and yasam gotoa in the some matches of the betuja. Now say near share the ura fight between Yebeka the chief majority whip and Fanya markings akazaka say be a sorry patches na kakete and near maybe at say and some fatal parliament a mass speaker and barber show mudin or hand the left nor hand the right no be a Canadian ni like near go Fanya mark dodona Fanya markings near goon any massy. I say I dear just a dear more ban. Now Brian Arno and Osei. The entire year was each men's bones also working out the same. Some foul beer na in here a speaker and barbia no so pair diano any many more yano. I say the chief majority for any Samanuguni with a catch speaker saying Sa fa no de se benya de se busa eye Osei Chairmansa Bonsu ana se eye afanyama Kesi mu baako ana se omo ankasa deputy for ni baako yenko like enko bizo bia ono na so busa no ono na wo so busa ne nkubusa bia kwa he ewo parliament ama beka Osei Chairmansa Bonsu eka some abusive word bia ema speaker mamba ma no twe sign because nyemebo wa ni kwan so ka others and I say style the chief majority for NDC amanyuko no esimi eka nsem no na senia ne attitude no kwa eze or put some fight be near the ani ema Osei Chairmansa Bonsu na engineer the chief majority for NDC amanyuko no nti na oka sa we ne che no ema speaker mamba me na twina adwinsi so omo ye sin bebe ewo parliament obitima ade achewa adwen comment obitim so ahya ma wadan for so ade enye bi ahwe higher for 1G chakram